Hey everyone, welcome to Mr. Geopolitics, and today we're going to be talking about the latest developments in Ukraine. The front has mostly stabilized. To be honest, there's not that much to talk about, so I'm going to try to make this quick. In the Donetsk region, south of Bakhmut, the Russians have fought for well over a month to take Kodema. The fighting here has been tooth and nail, meter by meter. But today they claim to have taken Nikolaevka and Nikolaevka Druha. So two little settlements which they've taken. And these settlements they are strategically significant because of the road you see right here, this highway, I'm assuming, the T0513, because this highway connects to Bakhmut, which then connects to all of the other cities and towns and settlements here. It eventually leads to Kramatorsk. And that highway connects Bakhmut and all those other settlements. It's one of the main arteries that connects to basically New York and all these settlements right here. So at this point, I mean, the Russians have not only established fire control, but they've probably already made it. They've probably already gotten to the road by now. So yeah, that's significant for them. They're next. The Russians also actually today they claimed to have advanced a bit into Soledar and taken some of the residential areas. But fighting here again, it's meter by meter, house by house, street by street. So it's very slow going. So maybe something like this. It's nothing like what the Ukrainians recently did in come on. It's nothing like what the Ukrainians recently did in Kharkiv, where they basically took the entire region in 3 to 4 days, 5 days, if you count the north. And in Kharkiv, the Ukrainians basically cut through this entire area like a hot knife through butter. And now they're saying that the Russians were actually outnumbered 8-1. That's what I'm hearing. If the Ukrainians had 15,000 troops, like some people claim, then that means that the Russians had 2,000 or less troops guarding this entire area. So it was definitely undermanned. And when the Russians saw the Ukrainians building up troops to the west, building up, bringing reserves in, bringing armor, they should have beefed up their defenses, but I guess they didn't. Not in time, anyways. Now it seems like the Ukrainians have their eyes set on this area right here. And their eventual goal might be to retake Mariupol, because that was, aside from Kherson, that was another major city which the Russians took, and it was very symbolic because in the end they took many prisoners and they released the footage. And if the Ukrainians are able to take territory here, then it might mean the end of the war for the Russians, because the Donbass would be split from the Kherson region, the Zaporizhia region, and Crimea. So that might be the end of the line for the Russians. But the Russians are reinforcing their positions as we speak. So this time I don't think they're going to be caught off guard, but it remains to be seen what will happen. Both sides are there's artillery duels between the troops on either side, so the Russians are not going to get caught off guard again. And then some sources claim that the Ukrainians are using that as a diversion and they might actually attack this area right here. They might actually cross all the bridges across the Oskil River and try to continue their offensive from Kharkiv region into the Luhansk region. That's possible, but because the Ukrainians have established a little bridgehead where the to the south, where the Seversky Donets River is. They've crossed the river. The Russians haven't opposed them, and the Ukrainians have a little bridgehead where you see Ozern and Stary Caravan. And recently, the Ukrainians took Yevtohirsk. But so far the Ukrainians have tried 4 more times to attack Liman, and all their attempts have failed so far. And the Russians have just sent Russian more elite units just arrived, because this area was defended by volunteers and LPR, Luhansk People's Republic troops. It was defended by a small garrison, but they held out. And yeah, now reinforcements have come, so I'm not sure if the Ukrainians will be able to repeat their success, the success they had in Kharkiv region, because now the Russians are on high alert. Now, in the Kherson region, it's really slow going. I've mentioned all this before, but right now some say that some sources claim that the Ukrainians who have taken Vysokopilia, the village of Vysokopilia, which is their biggest achievement, they might be looking to try to storm Arkhangelsk and then go south, because over here, further west, there's the Ingolets River, which is one of the reasons why the Ukrainians, with this bulge right here, they've basically been stuck around Suki Stavok for more than 2 weeks now, and the Russians have been bombarding them heavily. And the main issue is the river. The Ukrainians keep setting up pontoon bridges. The Russians let them cross. After the Ukrainians cross, the Russians destroy the pontoon bridges and then bombard the troops that are stranded. And that is a trend which keeps repeating itself. But the Ukrainians don't seem like they want to give up. They keep sending reinforcements. And in the Kherson area, I've seen a lot of footage of destroyed Ukrainian armor and Ukrainian positions being bombarded. So the Ukrainians have sustained significant losses here. Just from the video evidence, photo evidence, it's obvious. Now, Ternovy Podi is a little hamlet, a little micro village. According to this map, the Ukrainians control it. But one Russian source today claimed that the Ukrainians attacked Ternovy Podi and were repelled. So that might imply that the Russians controlled Ternovy Podi and actually these settlements as well to the south, because these settlements are very tiny. Each one of them is basically either 1 or 2 streets, and each settlement isn't even 1 squared mile or one square kilometer even. They're very tiny, and they're basically more like road stops. They have a couple dozen houses at most. Many of them are abandoned now because of the war, so they don't really have that much strategic significance. But anyways, at Alexandrivka, again, this map shows the Ukrainians control it, but actually the Russians control it, and the Ukrainians have made half a dozen or more attempts to storm this little settlement, but they have failed every single time. So on the Kherson front, the Ukrainians have had very mixed results. The Zaporizhia nuclear plant, the Ukrainians launched 2 amphibious assaults. Both failed. They lost hundreds, something like 400 or more elite troops, commandos. They tried, first they tried to use barge ships, which are meant to transport containers. Then they also used speedboats, sailboats, but they were all destroyed. And the few troops that did land were quickly met by reinforcements, tanks, helicopters, and they were pretty much either killed or arrested. I believe the first attempt, 60 Ukrainian troops out of 65 were arrested. The rest were killed. Anyways, that's it for now. The line is mostly stable. So in any case, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.